I want to build a cake. Okay, so for a cake, it's like you need wheat. And you're like, okay, how do I make wheat? And you're like, well, you need to grow some grass. And I'm like, well, how do I grow grass? And you're like, go see that grass over there? Go punch it. And I'm like, okay, I got seeds. And I'm like, okay, now you need to make some farmland. And you're like, well, how do I do that? And you need a hoe. And I'm like, how do I get a hoe? And they're like, you need iron or you need stone. And I'm like, well, you got to dig. And I'm like, okay. Well, I got stone. They're like, now you need a stick. Okay, where do I get a stick? You got to punch a tree. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go punch a tree. I got this big chunk of wood, crafted it into a stick. You're like, how do I do that? Like, okay, now I got a hoe. Now I got farmland. And now I planted a thing. It's not doing anything. You need water. And I'm like, okay, let me go plant this next to water. And it's like, you got to wait 3 days. And you're like, oh, God. And then you're like, okay, now I got wheat. Now what? And he's like, now you need sugar. And you're like, how do I get sugar? You need sugar cane. And you're like, where's sugar cane? It's by water somewhere. And I'm like, I guess I'll go looking for water. And then you search. Oh, I found water. There's no sugar cane. And then you search. So you're like, oh, okay, sugar cane next to water. Got that. And they're like, what do you do? You punch it. And you're like, okay, what do I do with this sugar cane piece? You got to grind that into sugar. And they're like, okay, done. And you're like, now you need an egg. And you're like, an egg? You're like, yeah, that's right. Bread is made with eggs. Like, where do I get an egg? You got to follow a chicken until it poops out an egg. You're like, okay. You go find the chicken, and you follow it, and then it poops out an egg. Like, okay, cool. Now what I need? You need milk. And you're like, milk? Yeah, that's right. Cakes need milk. You know, how you get milk? And you need a bucket. How do I make a bucket? And you need iron. How do I get iron? You got to dig for it. I'm like, okay, I got iron ore. What do I do with this? You got to cook it. And you're like, how do I cook it? You need coal. And I'm like, or you gotta dig for it. And I'm like, my
It
God.
sounds exhausting, but it's the way it is.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I got coal. And what do I do with this coal and this iron? You need an oven or furnace. You're like, how do you make a furnace? You need cobblestone. You're like, I got plenty of that. Okay, put it all together. You're like, okay, cool. Now I got a bucket. You're like, how do I get milk? Why do I need a bucket? You gotta go find a cow. You gotta punch it with the bucket. You're like, okay. You find the cow. You're like, I'm sorry, but they said I gotta punch you. And you're like, man. You're like, I got all the ingredients. And you're like, okay, go to the crafting table, put it all together, and you'll lose your bucket. And I'm like, there's a metal bucket in this cake. You're like, how do you eat it? Well, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put it on the table, and you're supposed to take slices. Me, I just stuffed the whole thing in my mouth. I was like, ew, cake. Ow. And it was gone. All that work, all the days, all them hours, gone in seconds.